Hello from Industrial Lock and Hardware. In this video, we're going to show you how to use our measuring guide to figure out what size locks you need for your RV. Now we have two measuring guides available. This one here in front of you is our color measuring guide, and that one you can only get if you request it by mail. So we'll mail this one out to you. And the other version that we have is the black and white printer-friendly measuring guide, which has the 1-inch test box. This is the one that you will get if you print it from our website, shoprvlocks.com/ch751.com. So today we're going to be showing you how to use the guide. We're going to start with this one here. As you can see, I folded step 3 on the guide just to make it easier to use. And step 1 on the measuring guide says to measure the locks. Now before you do that, we need to make sure that you read this section here. Replacing your RV locks made simple. And it says, caution. Measure the test box on the left side of this page. If it is 1 inch, then this guide printed correctly. If not, please adjust your printer settings or call us for help. And that's referring to this test box right there. Grab your ruler and measure that black box to make sure that it is 1 inch. If it is 1 inch or if it's off by a 1/16, then you're good. The measuring guide print it to size and you can proceed. If it didn't, then you need to adjust the printer settings off of your browser, and we can help you with that. Give us a call and we'll guide you on how to adjust those settings so that the measuring guide prints correctly. So on step 1, as I was saying, you need to figure out what size locks you need. We have the 4 most common sizes, which is 5/8, 7/8, 1.8 inch, 1.5. And we recommend that you keep the cam, the locking arm, on the actual lock for this step. So what you're going to do is just place it on top of one of the images until it aligns with one of them. As you can see, this lock is actually smaller than the 1.8, way smaller than the 1.5, also smaller than the 7/8. So that means that it's going to be a 5/8. So you align the cam with the drawing. Now, if you have a bent cam, don't align the bent of the cam with that. Align the base of the cam. So there it is. That is a 5/8 cam lock. The next size is the 7/8. And as you can see, it aligns perfectly with the 7/8. The 1.8 cam lock aligns with the 1.8. And finally, the 1.5. Some RVs come with this size lock. So let me bring this a little closer. So there it is. That's an 1.5 cam lock. Now what happens if you have a lock that's a lot bigger than our 1.5? If it goes from here all the way to here or off of the paper, in that case, we might still be able to help you. We would need to know the door thickness on your RV, and if the cam, the locking arm, has an inset or an offset, meaning the bend is bending away from the head of the lock, or if it's an inset, meaning it's bending in towards the head of the lock. But for that, give us a call and we can guide you through figuring out what size we can give you. The next step is cams. Now, these drawings are measured from the center of the crosshairs to the end of the cam. So if you measure from here to here, it's 2.8. From here to here, it's 1.75 inches. If you measure from end to end, it's going to be longer, but we don't do that. So what we do is you grab your cam. This is a flat cam, and you try to align it with one of the drawings. Make sure to align the center hole with the square on the drawing. So this one's smaller than 1.5 inches. It could be an 1.8 inch, but a more exact measurement would be the 1 inch. So you can see, fits perfectly on the 1 inch. Now your cam might have a bend like this one. Same thing, just align it, top, align it with the bottom, and kind of eyeball it. As you can see, this is a 1 inch as well. It's going to be a little hard if you have a bend this pronounced like this one. It's a 1/2 inch bend. But if it's just a 1/16 or an 1/8, then you should be okay. Another thing you could do is measure by hand. So grab your tape measure or ruler and measure from the center of this square hole to the end of the cam, the top end. And don't measure along the bend. Just go straight across, like if it was a flat cam, like this one with no bend. And the last step, I folded the last step to the back, is the bends. Again, cams are going to have different size bends. Some might have a 1/16 of a bend. Let me show you that one here. That'd be a 1/16. The way to figure out what bend you have is you grab your bend cam. As you can see, there's a slight bend on that, and align it. Align the bottom piece with the top piece, and that's a 1/16 of an inch bend. Don't pay attention to the angle of the bend. This is a 45-degree angle. This one I'm holding here is probably an 80-something degree bend. Some will have a 90-degree bend. So don't really pay attention to that. Just make sure you align the bottom portion of the cam with the top portion of the cam. So that's a 1/16. This big one I showed you earlier, do the same thing. It's not a 1/4 of an inch. It's close to a 3/8, as you can see, but from the angle here, you can see that this is a 1/2 inch bend. As you can see, align the bottom with the bottom, the top with the top of the cam. The bend, the angle of the bend is going to be different on every cam, on most manufacturers. So don't worry about that. This is a 1/2 inch bend. If you have a bend that's longer than that, we might still be able to help you. Just again, give us a call and we can guide you through the process of figuring out what bend we can give you. The bottom portion of the measuring guide is for you to enter your order information, name, address, credit card, all this, and you can send this to us with the different methods here at the bottom. Now this is the printable guide from our website. It's black and white. Make sure to measure this 1-inch test box again to make sure that you get in the right size. Same deal, same procedure with the guide that you get by mail from us. Different size locks, different size cams, bends. Now on this one, you don't have to measure any 1-inch test box. As you can see, it's not present like it is on the other one. That's because this is already pre-printed to be to size. So when you get it by mail, it's ready to go. All you got to do is just figure out what size locks you need, and you can continue on. All right, that's it for this video on using our measuring guide. Hope it was helpful.